Hi again. Today I'm going to be looking at how you run Python on an ESP32. We've been looking at the Arduino method. Let's have a look at Python. And in order to do so, first of all, of course, you need the ESP32 board, which you can buy here from AliExpress for very little indeed. That's anything from 3 to 6 New Zealand dollars, which is less in US dollars and UK pounds. But you can't just plug it into the PC and sort of get going. What you have to do is you have to load the what's called the MicroPython IDE onto the ESP32. And the easiest way to do that, I've found, is to use this editor called Thonny. And what you want to do is download that first. Go to thonny.org, download that, and you can do everything really from Thonny. Uh, so what you have to do is you have to flash the uh, ESP32 with if you like, the binaries of that interprets the MicroPython. So you need the right binaries, if you like, for the ESP32. And for that, you go to the MicroPython website, which is micropython.org, and then download ESP32. And this is called the firmware for the generic ESP32 module. And you can pick whichever one you like. This one here is the version 1.14. If I pick that one, there's download it. It's no good, however, as it stands. I can't do much with that file. Instead, I must install the Thonny editor. So once I've installed the Thonny editor, you can download it here for Windows, for example. Now I go to run Thonny, and I'll bring it over. They were actually, they've already got MicroPython on it, but when you run it normally, it wouldn't say MicroPython. It would just be ordinary Python. And that's where the confusion arises. So you can't just plug, even with this, you just can't plug in your USB and expect it to work. So what we do is we go to Tools, and we go to Options, and we go to Interpreter, and MicroPython, we select the one we want. Of course, you could use this for Raspberry Pi or some other micro if you prefer, or the ESP8266. So there's the Raspberry Pi Pico. ESP32, I'll select that, and here's the bit that you might miss. You must select the correct COM, just like you do in the Arduino. You can find that out from Windows. If in my case, I'll just pop up, go to that's the control panel. I go to System, and then Device Manager, and go to COM ports. There they are, COM ports, and I can see it's using COM4. I can just unplug it and it should disappear. You know which one it is. So there I'm using COM4. Then I click this down here. It's not obvious. And from there, I can select the port, which is COM4, and then the firmware. And I'm going to pick version 1.14, and I'm just going to install it. And it's going to take a little bit of time to do it. You can see it's erasing the flash. So it erases the flash first. It does that all for you. I think in the past you had to erase the flash and then you had to upload the thing. But anyway, this does everything for you. It's relatively fast. It's 13% at the moment. So this Thonny editor, you can do all your programming from it. So it's relatively simple. There seems to be a lot out there on the net, which is a little bit confusing, and different ways of doing it, but this is by far the simplest method that I've found. So you just have to wait a little bit patiently here until it's got to 100%. We're at 49%, 50%, So the MicroPython website here, as it's doing that, you can get the MicroPython for a whole range of other modules other than the Express ones. You can get for the BBC. I wouldn't say the BBC Micro, but the BBC have got their own little microcontroller, and there's one for the Raspberry Pi, of course, and a whole load of other things. So you can select the firmware that you want for your particular one. And here I'm just picking the generic one. Don't pick the unstable ones because obviously you could have problems with that. Let's go back to Thorny and see what it's doing. And it's done. Okay, so I can just close that. Okay, and now you see it reads MicroPython version 1.14, and that's it. So I can use it sort of interpreter mode. I can, let's say, do A equals 6, let's say, B equals 7, C equals A times B. It's a bit like MATLAB, isn't it? And then C, and gives me the answer. So I'm actually running it on the ESP32 now, and notice it says MicroPython there. If it doesn't say MicroPython, it means you're running, if you like, CPython, which is the one on the PC. So you can use Thorny to run ordinary Python, that's fine, and run that on your PC. But here we're running it on the actual micro itself. So that's how you install it, and then we can, of course, then run a program. But this is just about the installation. And that should get you to the starting point anyway. Thank you very much.